We need also to work a lot on local, and this is your expertise. Local means that anything can be related to the person that you are trying to introduce in your narrative. So it's very hard to talk about migrants, but it's very easy to talk about your neighbor, and your neighbor maybe comes from another country. If we talk about migrants, we are separating them, even if it is on the good side for migrants, like migrants are very good. This is not a way to integrate them in our narrative. We think we need to avoid the term migrant, or redefine it and say we are all migrants. At the end, we are all moving, and we are all part of this enormous and international diaspora.
But your values don't change. That means that they're really important for marketers to use, for people who are doing messaging, for communicators to use, because you need to speak to people using their own values. You're not going to change their values. You have to speak to them using their own values. Attitudes change a bit, but they're more broad. They're less context specific, but they're still subject specific. So they're usually, what do you think about immigration being a subject? They inform your opinion, but what informs your attitudes are your values and identities, and they're neither context specific, nor are they subject specific. So you take your values and identities with you wherever you go, across your life, and it tends to stay the same.
What I learned from startups and for the entrepreneurial sector is that they use marketing a lot. It's the main tool they have to promote their projects. And that's what we don't do enough as cities, as governments, as politicians. We don't know how to communicate our project effectively. We need to know what we communicate. But also we'd like to add maybe to use innovation to communicate and to adapt to the needs of your citizens. So if you live in Amman, of course the response that you're going to build is not the same as someone that lives in Europe, in a city in Europe, right? You don't have the same means just because you face different challenges. And I want this to be addressed, because often we have approaches that are not, compatible.
Il faut voir l'autre côté, l'autre partie du verre, comme on dit, le côté positif de la migration et la richesse qu'il peut apporter pour les sociétés. C'est ainsi qu'au niveau de Nader, par exemple, et dans le cadre du projet MC2CM, on a eu des événements, une action d'interculturalité, c'est l'organisation de tout un ensemble d'activités visant l'interculturalité.
المواقف لا تتغير بسرعة، المواقف تتغير على مر الأجيال، لكن الذي يتغير هو آراء الناس تتغير مع الوقت، تأتي مع التقبل والتعود على الموجود. هذا هو الموجود فيجب أن نتأقلم معه، وطبعاً مع تغير السياسات الحكومية مع الوقت أكيد بتتحسن وبترضي الطرفين، اللاجئين والمواطنين. هلا بالنسبة لكوفيد 19 ماذا عمل في العالم كله؟ هو أكيد جمع العالم كله على شيء واحد وخلق تعاطف بين جميع الأطياف وجميع الأجناس.
The perception is similar in both shores of the Mediterranean, and I think that's also a very important element to work on, because when we discuss in the different territories on migration, we have this tendency, I think, to oppose the Europe and North Africa and Middle East, and at the end the realities are very similar from in one shore and in the other.